Welcome to this screencast web lecture on searching existing data. In this web lecture, we will look at 6 ways to discover existing data. I will go into detail about the differences between these 6 ways and how to optimize your search results when looking for existing data. The 6 ways we will look at are Google, Refree Data, Zanran, Data Search, Data Journals and the University Library. The first way to find existing data is by using Google. Go to google.com and use the probably very familiar search engine. It is necessary to know how to properly use the search engine to find specific data. If, for example, we want to find data on biodiversity, it is not very effective to just search for biodiversity. That search query results in almost 20 million hits, ranging from Wikipedia articles, definitions, news articles, and so on. It is almost impossible to find the right data with such a broad search. If you want to find suitable data, you can add so-called Boolean operators to your search query. Type in biodiversity database or registry or dataset or archive or statistics and get more relevant and to-the-point hits. This way, it is possible to use Google to find existing data or at least find possible locations for existing data. Concluding, Google is a possible starting point for finding existing data, but by no means ideal. It is often like finding a needle in a haystack, where you get a lot of hits, but have no way of knowing what is and what is not relevant, accurate and academically sound data. It will be worthwhile to look at several other ways to find more accurate and relevant data. The second way to find existing data is by using Refree Data. In your browser, type refreedata.org. Refree Data is a registry of all kinds of data repositories. It contains around 2,000 different types of data repositories. A data repository is a place to preserve, manage and provide access to many types of digital materials, so these can be searched, discovered and reused. Let's take a look at the search functionality by searching for population. As you can see, quite a number of search results pop up. An important feature is the filter option on the left-hand side. We can, for example, filter the results by data access restrictions or quality management. If we look at one search result in more detail, like the hit on the Minnesota Population Center, we can find quite a lot of metadata on the repository. Important information that can be found in Refree Data are the icons in the top right corner. In this case, the first icon indicates that the data repository provides additional information on its service. The second icon indicates that the repository provides open access to its data. The third one indicates the terms of use and licenses are provided by the repository. We can tell by the fourth and fifth icon that the repository does not use a persistent identifier system and is not certified or supports a repository standard. The last icon indicates that this repository provides a policy of its own. Apart from the icons in the top right corner, we can see a lot of different tags defining this particular repository. We can find contact details for the repository, their mission statement, and, most important, the URL to the repository itself. Refree Data also offers a browse function. You can either browse by subject, content type, or country. Concluding, Refree Data is a very good starting point to find data locations. It is not a search engine for specific data, but it presents an overview of relevant repositories. A third way to look for existing data is by using Zanran. Go to zanran.com. This search engine helps you find numerical data presented in graphs, tables and charts. It harvests these data from PDFs, Excel spreadsheets and images on HTML pages on the net. Let me show you how it works. If we type quality of life, we get a list of results. You can hover over the results to see enlarged views of the table or graph. There are some filtering options, so that it is possible to define where the data comes from, how up to date it is, and what format it originally had. It is important to note that if you want to access and download the data, it is obligatory to register, albeit for free. Concluding, Zanran is a self-proclaimed Google for data. It is very useful to find specific data formats like graphs, tables, and charts. The fourth way to look for existing data is by using data search. Go to datasearch.elsevier.com to find this search engine. This is a portal that harvests data that is published in a selection of different repositories. It is reminiscent of search engines like Scopus and Google Scholar. It is still in its beta version and does not contain a fully comprehensive corpus of repositories yet, but it has a lot of potential and usability. If we want to get an idea of the range of repositories harvested by data search, we can look for data and go to the filter called Data Sources on the left-hand filter menu. If we open it, we get a list of the repositories harvested by this search engine. Let us take a look at the functionalities. For this example, we will search for malaria incidents. Next, we want to filter these results to find tabular data. We go to the left-hand side and pick Tabular Data. We now get a quick overview of available resources, color-coded per format. If we look at the top result, we get the details of this dataset. We can also click on the tabular data itself to get a preview. It is then possible to go to the data source, as I now demonstrate. Concluding, data search is a beta version and not yet complete in terms of the amount of sources harvested, but the usability and functionalities are very promising. We now turn to a fifth way to find existing data: data journals. If you want to be sure that your data is of academic standards, it is possible to find data via a peer-reviewed data journal. These data journals are usually discipline-specific, so it is worthwhile to try and find one for your field. The easiest way to find a data journal is by using Google. We go to google.com and, for example, search for Data Journal Earth Systems. We can then go to the first hit, Earth Systems Science Data. As we can read, it is an international interdisciplinary journal for the publication of articles on original research data sets, furthering the reuse of high-quality data. If we then look at a search example like rainfall data, we can use the search option on the right-hand side. First, we select title as a search parameter, and then we type rainfall. As you can see, the scope of the search is final revised and discussion papers between 2008 and 2018. These fields can be adapted to narrow the search. If we select the top hit, we get an abstract of the data and its review status. By selecting the PDF or XML icon on the right, it is possible to immediately download the whole paper. Concluding, data journals are an invaluable tool when looking for existing data. The data in them is peer-reviewed and up to academic standards. The downside is that there are not many of these data journals yet, so it is possible that the relevant data for you has not been published anywhere yet. The last way to find data is by looking through the licensed data sources provided by the University Library. Utrecht University Library has licenses for many sources of information, including sources with datasets, statistics, and text collections. The library offers an overview of search engines for these specific types of data. We start on the university website and then click on Library. Use the quick link search engines followed by clicking on alphabetical list of search engines. We are now looking at the complete list of search functions offered by the library, either open licensed or with a specific library license. The green arrows to the left of a title indicates that it is freely available. The red arrow indicates that it is only accessible to UU students and researchers. When looking for data, we can filter this list by clicking on All and selecting Statistics. You can now see an overview of search engines for statistics. If we scroll down, we can, for example, select the World Animal Health Information Database. By using this link, you gain access through your library connection. Concluding, the library provides access to several licensed search engines and databases that are accessible through the library website. It is worth checking these out when looking for existing data. We have now seen 6 different ways for searching existing data. We have looked at Google, Refree Data, Zanran, Data Search, data journals, and the university library.